Hello, 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 and how are you? Lord, I need to really stop doing that, y'all. I really need to stop doing that, but the fact that you guys keep up with this community, even though my introduction usually sounds weird, thank you. I am grateful for you guys. Welcome back to this channel, right? This podcast community. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you had a great day. And guys, I just love it when a topic correlates with current events. And when I say current events, I'm not talking about like just, things on the news, but like I just love when I'm thinking about a topic and then I go on social media and then I see someone talking about the same thing. I'm just like, oh my God, that must be, the universe trying to really like push this topic through. And not to blow my own horn, I'm just impressed at how I've been consistent with this community this year, because I made myself this promise. I'm going to be consistent, and I'm so proud of myself, because like, again, I am in the middle of a new job. It's a new year. I have a blog. Please check it out. It's called See the World. It's a travel blog talking about travel tips for young Americans trying to go abroad, study abroad, get internship abroad, or live abroad. So please check it out. And I just like, so I used to be very A-type, I was an A-type person my whole life. Again, being the oldest, being an African girl, you always have to be like organized, and if you're not organized, like the whole system falls, right? So I had to be organized with my brother, with the house, and with my homework. Everything just had to be like boom, 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 right? And then I went to college, and then college screwed me over because I had too much free time. And then I was like, I don't know what to do with all my free time. And then like down the road, I became a procrastinator, and COVID happened. So which has been one of my failures. One of the things that I consider my failures is not being able to go back to my A-type ways, because I feel like with my type of ambition, I need to be organized. So the fact that I've been really good with this podcast, posting every day, like I promised I would, I am so proud of myself. And I'm even more proud at how I can think of a topic and I will like maybe think of like the big themes that I want to include in that topic, but I never write it down. So I just like take my phone, I press record, and that's it. And maybe you guys will notice that I'll write things down, or because sometimes I will go left field and everything. So, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for being here. So today we're gonna have a conversation about the American narrative, right? And the reason why I said that it falls so like, I was so happy when I saw a post today on Instagram, is because it kind of summarized the meat of what I wanted to talk about, right? As an immigrant, again, I feel like we always have to state our positionalities when we talk about things these days, because everyone needs a disclaimer now. And again, you know what? Let me go off a tangent. My channels, especially this podcast community, it's honestly for open-minded people. It's only for open-minded people. It's for people who want to learn, or people who want to get a different perspective, people who want to listen instead of speaking. Because the reason why I even talk to you guys, because I listen so much. When I relate things to you guys, is because I listen. The things that we talk about here, I've had this conversation maybe with 2 or 3 people. And the people whom I've had this conversation with are people like my university professors, are diplomats of the United States, because I just feel like a lot of people don't like have real conversation, and me coming from different positionalities and coming from different school of thought, if I'm talking to a single-minded person, they get offended quickly. So I never want to talk to a single-minded person. If you are in this community, you have pressed followed, then you are an open-minded person, right? You are a globalist, because we are talking about multicultural issues. So those who get offended, please stop listening. Just don't listen. I'm not gonna be offended, just don't listen. But this community is a community of globally minded people, open-minded people, multicultural people. Got it? Okay, let's start. So this morning I woke up and I went to check my social media, because I'm finding out, like, because if you want to do, this podcast thing, you want to market your stuff, you have to be on social media, which is something that those who know me know that I'm not really a social media person, because I could care less. Like, I don't even follow my friends. My travel page, my friends don't even know that I have a travel blog. They don't even know that I have this podcast, actually. So those of you who are listening, because everything's just private, so yeah, so it is what it is. So I got on my Instagram to check on my, how did my travel posts did, and then I fell upon this post from Travel Noir, which is a really big group, a big travel community, geared towards the Black community, where the caption was, would you give your foreign bank account to would you give your bank statements to a foreign country to apply for the visa? Because Brazil has updated their visa requirements, asking that if you're going to go to Brazil, you have to show your travel, you have to show your bank account as a requirement to go to Brazil, to get a Brazilian visa to go there. And this girl was talking about, like, oh yeah, this is what they're doing, blah 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 blah. Her tone was very like, how dare they, this is like weird and everything. And before I even looked at the comments, my reaction was, doesn't she know this happens already? Like, we in America do this all the time. Like, it gave off American privilege. Before I even looked at the comments, I was like, I will not post that, because this is really why people of the world think that we're assholes, right? Because we will complain about things that other people go through in their daily lives. And one example is yourself, like, and I don't mean this to be rude and stuff like that, right? But when a mom is in the West is complaining about, like, being a mother and everything, and she has like one child or two child, I tend to be very dismissive, because I'm just like, bitch, they're a woman with like 6 children with nothing, but they make it work. I really don't want to listen to your privileged ass. Like, and I think when I hear stuff like that, like, or when I hear people complain about things that people do naturally, like, I guess I just lean towards my African identity and be like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. So when I saw this post, I was like, ooh, baby, ooh, this is not good. Then I opened the comments, and every comment was like, oh, you ignorant, privileged Americans. Don't you know that you guys do the same thing? Don't you know that you guys blah, 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 blah. And it was just interesting because, again, this is a Black travel page. And I could already hear the response, right? The response will be like, but we're black. Like, how can we be ignorant? How can we have American privilege? I like, because again, from my personal experience, right? The community I had most trouble integrating with were Black Americans, specifically for this reason, right? I had trouble integrating with Black Americans because, again, this is my experience. When you are from another country and you're coming to America, everyone is American. Everyone is American. Before you even know the history of America and all of that, everyone to you is an American. We watch Coming to America when we're in Africa, right? We watch 24 hours series, the 24-hour series, with the Jack Bauer, with the black guy and everything. Like, we watch that when we're in Africa. To us, it's an American movie. I believe I watched The Pursuit of Happiness. Wait, is that the one where Will Smith had a dying son and everything? Yeah, I watched that in Africa, right? So we know that there are Black people that lives in America, and those Black people are Americans, right? If you listen to my other episode where I differentiate between the American nationality and the African American ethnicity, you heard me say this thing too. When we come here as a foreigner, you are an American. We don't even know what Hispanic Americans are. I didn't even know what a Hispanic is, but I knew that Black people who live in America are Americans. I learned about Hispanics when I came here. Because we have Asian people in Africa, we call everyone Chinese. Like, everyone who's from Asia, we call them Chinese. My first friend was from Thailand. My first friend in elementary school when we moved to the United States was from Thailand. I swear to God, my mama still call her Chinese until today, right? But when it specifically came from Black people, we just saw them as Americans. And when you come from Africa, for example, again, I'm gonna use Africa as an example because I am African and I can speak from my experience. When you come from Africa, you already have this notion that you are the underdog. You are the underdog because, again, being African is a lower currency in the world as opposed to American. So we know that there's white people in America and the Black people that lives in America are Americans. We don't know those African American stuff. We don't, right? So when we first came here, and I will hear, and most of the people who said ignorant things about Africans to me were Black Americans. And when they were saying those things to me, I am not looking at you as a Black American. I am looking at you as an American who's looking down at me because I'm African. Does that make sense? And I feel, and from my experience, I've always felt like Black Americans, because of their positionality in the United States, they fail to realize that internationally you are an American. They fail to realize that their domestic fights about Black America versus white America, although now it translates, although now people see it because of the George Floyd thing, because of social media and all that. Again, when we moved to the United States, we did not have social media. So we moved to the United States before even social media blew up, right? So, and I'm not talking about it now. because although now, like, people can be like, oh yeah, this is what they're fighting for, and people can relate to that because they're having a similar fight in their own countries. To most of the world, you are an American. You possess an American narrative. So when you, regardless of the fact that you are a Black American, you post, oh, how come Brazil is asking for bank statements in order for us to get a visa? People are not looking at your Blackness. They are not looking at the unconscious commentary that you're trying to make. And I felt like the point of the post was also like, oh, this is going to be affecting Black travelers, because if you don't have enough in your bank account, then they can discriminate against you getting the experience to travel to that country. I think that was sort of the unconscious commentary that she was trying to make as well. And with that unconscious commentary, in order to favor the Black people from the United States, you offended the Black people that comes to the United States. Because a lot of people from Black countries have to go to this system. They even have to go get an interview. They have to dress well. They have to present themselves well. So there's this Congolese singer, Fally Ipupa. He brought his supporter from the Congo to France, to Europe, because he was having a lot of big concerts and everything. And there's one of the guy that he brought. This guy is illiterate. He is illiterate. Like, oh, this guy is so illiterate. And the joke that we have in the Congolese community is like, how the hell did he get a visa? Who interviewed this guy? Because even when he speaks Lingala, some of the stuff that he says are very backwards, right? So imagine if he's backward in Lingala. Imagine how backward he is in French. So this guy is he's the bottom of the bottom when it comes to education. So the joke is like, who gave him a visa? What did he say over there? Because I don't think you get an interpreter. Right? What did this fool say in order for somebody to be like, yeah, we're going to give you a visa? Because the American visa, second by the French, the Schengen visa, are two of the hardest visa for Black travelers to get. Black travelers outside of the United States and Canada to get. Because when we go to Europe, as Americans, regardless of your color, you go there without a visa because you have an American passport. So your American is a currency that other Black people from Black nation, from other Black diaspora do not have. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? They do not have that currency. Your Americanism is your currency. And I believe I talked about several experiences that I've had traveling with my American passports. Right? I would go to tourist place. I would give them big bills and they would not think it's fake. Because they were like, well, if you are here, you must be rich or an American. Is it right? No. But do I understand the mentality? Yes. I'm a social scientist. Understanding the behavior or the thought process is part of my job. So, regardless of the different sort of identities that we may think we have, again, I talk about this being a person who won 2 federal scholarships to go to France and Belgium. When I met the Black community in France, like, they were like, wait, your country? You are here representing your country? Most of them don't think it's likely for them to do. The best way, or the most popular way for a Black European to represent their, like, France, England, German as their country is if they're football players. That's when they be like, oh yeah, no, they're French. Did you see how good French claim the French national team when they won the World Cup? They're French. Les Bleus. Le Coq. Right? They were happy. They're French. That's the most realistic way a Black French person can have the opportunity to represent their, like, France as their country. So when you go abroad and you're like, oh yeah, we have the same battle, not really, because you have an opportunity that they don't have. You have an opportunity that they don't have. The inequities that other people face, other Black diaspora face, like, and this is not the suffering Olympics, but I feel like we should be mindful of what we put out there, because people are not going to feel sorry for you. You come off as being ignorant, and you display like the same stereotype that people say about us. The stuff that you think only white Americans have, yeah, from a foreigner perspective, you also have the same thing. You also have the same American mindsets of your shit is the greatest shit. You have the greatest suffering. I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you don't. But I think other Black diasporas will say their suffering is the greatest suffering. And I think as Black people, as we are trying to connect with one another, we should be very careful in how we interact with one another, right? I don't think that it was appropriate for a platform that is catered to like a global Black community to have that conversation. You could have educated people and be like, hey, Brazil is having this thing, and next time you want to apply for a visa in Brazil, know that Brazil want you to show your bank account statement. But the fact that you're like, would you give your bank statement to a foreign country? Bitch, people do that all the time. They do that to come here. And the fact that you didn't know that shows that you're not only are you ignorant about other people's country, but you're also ignorant about the stuff that happened to your country. You're ignorant about the experience of other people. Because, your experience is the only one that matters. And like I said, my channel is for very open-minded people. I posted a snippet of this on TikTok, and most people understood where I was coming from, right? And then this girl, she was like, oh, this is why I would never donate to your cause. You bottom eater. I don't even know what that means, but here's the thing about me. If you're gonna waste your energy to be rude to me because you did not agree with something, or you don't have brain cells to understand a different perspective, bitch, I will never argue with somebody online. I won't. I have too much to lose, and I told you guys, people who have less to lose will always drag down people who have more to lose. I will never fight with somebody, because again, people who argue or who wants to be negative or who wants to comment and be nasty, They have nothing to lose, because if you had something to lose, you would not behave that way. You would not behave that way. You know? And so now let me pivot away from just talking about the black issue, right? Because I also find that Europeans don't like Americans. Because if you're like, yeah, you guys think you're better than us and everything, I'm like, what the, because again, so when I traveled to France, there was always this sort of like, this conversation in political side, like, French is our ally, they're this, they're that, like, like they tell us, Europe, Canada, those are our allies, work together on stuff and everything. And, so I was like, oh, I'm going to a friendly country and all that. I did not go to a friendly country. Now every time I go to Europe and then people are like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, oh, which one was some better? Should I just say I'm Congolese, or should I say that? Because I'm just like, if I say I'm African, they would think I'm like, they'll think I'm beneath them. But then if I say I'm American, they might hate me. So which one do I go with? So I just play this game all the time, because now I'm just like, let me see, are they gonna be nice to me because if I'm African, or are they gonna be nice to me if I tell them I'm American? Which one do they want, right? So, and then when I went to France, I was just like, wait, they were just like, oh yeah, you were and also I went to France during the Trump presidency, and I went to a political school, which was not a great, experience. So everything was like, wow, you Americans, you do this, you do that. And the thing that I've learned about the French people know how to hold grudge. They hold a grudge. First of all, I lived in Bretagne, the region of Bretagne, and the Bretons, they don't like the French, right? Because in 14 something, and literally this is what they would tell you, wow, in 14 something, the king married our princess, so that's why we became a country. So if they can hold a grudge from the 1400s, yeah, they will hold a grudge or anything. So, but I found out the reason why some French don't like Americans was because after World War II, and the way my French friend explained that to me, and she was dead ass serious, and I was looking at her, I'm like, wait, what the hell did we do to you in World? Didn't we save your ass in World War II and everything? They're like, wow, you guys trying to colonize us. Now the irony of that was, she forgot I was an African too. And I'm like, oh, so you guys are mad because America tried to colonize you. Huh. I'm like, you do know that I'm African, right? And then she's like, well, I guess the conversation ends here. Right? Because she was just like, well, I guess this is the end of the conversation. I'm like, yeah, you don't like colonization? Yeah, me neither. Right? But again, so I've met white Europeans who are just like, yeah, we don't like you guys because you guys think you're better than ever. You guys are trying to learn about other people and everything. If you lived in Europe, like, first of all, if you visited Europe and somebody said that to you, you'd be like, oh, you know what, maybe we're assholes, right? But I lived in Europe for 2 years. They are assholes too. Like, they don't know stuff about other people too. They think because they know stuff about other Europeans that they are better than us, that what they do is different than what we do. I'm like, because I remember I was singing like a French nursery, right? A French nursery, and then this girl's like, I've never heard of it. I'm like, wait, you guys did not sing this when you guys were little? She's like, no. I'm like, I grew up in a French colony, and they taught us this damn song, and how the hell we be learning stuff that they didn't even teach you? That's why you guys are lazy, because the song was about hard work, you have to work hard and everything. I'm like, so you teach the black people to work hard, but you don't teach these people to go to work and stop complaining and having strikes every 2 weeks, right? And then her and I started laughing. But I feel like when you have different experience and you're very open-minded, you get to see the nuance in things, right? And the way I've been able to kind of like create my American identities is by embracing the nuances, because America is although the big stereotypical stuff are true, in a way, is a country of the gray areas. It's a country that exists in the gray areas, right? So, oh well, that was my spiel. Talk to you later. Bye.